In 1996, businessman Hui Ka Yan founded Evergrande, which went on to become China's largest property developer. Evergrande has over 1,300 projects in over 280 cities in China. According to estimates, 30% of China's GDP, that's right, 30% is directly or indirectly connected to real estate. So obviously, the Evergrande founder made lots of money. Hui Ka Yan was once the richest man in Asia, a self-made billionaire. But in 2021, the property giant ended up becoming the symbol of China's property crisis. They were declared to have defaulted on their debt after missing a crucial repayment deadline, which ended up triggering the real estate market crisis that China is currently in. They became the world's most indebted property developer, owing over $300 billion. Now, this mega real estate giant has now been asked to liquidate all its assets. After an 18-month hearing, a court in Hong Kong has said enough is enough. Despite multiple efforts, Evergrande, which filed for bankruptcy protection last year, it's failed to convince the court that it has a viable plan for restructuring. But how did things get so bad for the real estate giant? Let's get into the key developments that shaped this crisis. So, in the early 2000s, China was urbanizing rapidly. Hui Ka Yan used the country's reform policies to his advantage. In 2009, Evergrande made its stock market debut. It raised $9 billion through its IPO. Evergrande's business model was based largely on borrowing. They borrowed large sums of money and sold apartments that may not even have been built yet. Evergrande expanded aggressively. They borrowed more than $300 billion. They kept borrowing and building, and people kept buying. 70% of family assets in China are tied up in real estate. By 2017, the firm's founder was the richest man in Asia. But the very next year, the first signs of trouble came. China's central bank added Evergrande to its list of highly indebted conglomerates to watch. In 2020, Beijing brought in new rules to control the amount owed by big developers. As the news tightened, Evergrande started offering its properties at major discounts to keep the cash flowing. The final nail in the coffin came in 2021 when, as part of the new crackdown, regulators started to tighten scrutiny on developers taking deposits from homeowners before the houses were complete. Global ratings agencies started downgrading Evergrande's outlook. Subcontractors and advertisers complained of unpaid dues. Evergrande defaulted on their debt. In 3 years, Evergrande shares lost 99% of their value. In 2023, they filed for bankruptcy even as they worked on a multi-billion-dollar deal with creditors. But now the court doesn't seem convinced that they can get out of this soup. So now they've asked Evergrande to liquidate. So now what next for Evergrande? Well, a liquidator would be appointed to sell the developer's assets to repay debts. They can appeal the order, but the liquidation process would continue pending appeal. The liquidator may propose a new restructuring plan if they think that the assets are enough or if a white knight appears. As of now, though, creditors expect to get back less than 3%. As far as larger effects are concerned, this could spell worse news for the world's second largest economy, which is already struggling. China's economy and their property sector, which contributes to a quarter of its growth, will suffer. Analysts are worried about domino effects like the effects on investment, on other developers, and of course the effects on those who would have already paid Evergrande their deposits. The full impact will of course unfold only in the days to come. Hope you found this video useful. For more such content, keep watching Mint.